Yes.
Been a long time since I left you without a dope beat.
It's steel.
But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without
Keeping it real.
Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Steven and this is Steel Keeping It Real. So you know what today is.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
That's right, it is Friday. It's Female Friday, and on this day I like to showcase female artists, past, present, or future on my channel. Now this last one for the evening, I did tell you I was going to do it with the last one I did with Brenda Russell, Piano in the Dark, and this is Karyn White's Superwoman. Now there's a contrast to what I was saying about Brenda Russell where, you know, it was 1988, I was in a transition, I really wasn't listening to the lyrics to Piano in the Dark as much as I do today. However, when it comes to Superwoman, if you don't know the beginning lyrics to this song, if you weren't of a certain age and you didn't know the lyrics to the song, you know something was wrong with you. Early in the morning, I put breakfast at your table and make sure that your coffee has your sugar and cream. Come on, your eggs are over easy and your toast like done, something to that effect. I'm hungry now, but you know, it's just this catchy beginning, and it wasn't until this very moment I was like, you know what, I should have known that this is an LA and Babyface song, and it does sound like an LA and Babyface song of the 80s, early 90s. They were a hit machine. They were just churning out, not only for themselves. You know, Babyface had, you know, when 1990 hit, this is 1989 with Superwoman, but when 1990 hit, and Babyface had like Whip Appeal, and you know, there's that whole album, and I just know. And right before that, he was been with The Deal on 2 occasions, you know, and he was writing with that. So, you know, Babyface in the late 80s, early 90s is almost like Lionel Richie in the late 70s, early 80s. He was a force to be reckoned with. You couldn't stop. And it wasn't until this very moment that I made that kind of, you know, connection as far as fame was concerned. Lionel Richie, yeah. It's almost exactly the same, just a decade later. 79 to 80, 89 to 90 is about the same difference. So, but Karyn White, the first time I heard Karyn White, and I think I've already done the song that she did with Jeff Lorber, I Love the Way You Love Me. I think I've already done that, and if I have, I'll put a little thing right there. But that's our first introduction to Karyn White, and it's like, who is this girl? She's really small, but she's got a large voice. And then, you know, there was this song, and what else did they say was her other? Oh, I Love the Way You Love Me. I love the way you love me. And that does sound like a Jeff Lorber song, but again, that's an LA and Babyface song. And so they were churning out hits for her. Unfortunately, after that, you know, sometimes it's almost like with P. Diddy, you know, back in the mid-90s or 2000s, where he might get you a hit, but that's almost like the last time you hear from him, because P. Diddy, you know, was co-signing for you. But once you're done with P. Diddy, you hardly ever hear of those artists, you know, Jagged Edge, you know, back in the day, and Mario Winans, I Don't Want to Know, and all these other kind of people, you like all of a sudden you heard them, and then you never heard them again. Go figure. But Karyn White, you know, it was a shame. I often wonder what she's doing now, and let me see, because I did check on Wikipedia, because I had to check. Karyn White, let's see, years out, she went from 1986 to 1995, and then she stopped doing music, and then from 2012 to the present. So, 2017 UB Honors nomination for Best Independent R&B Album Release. So the last album she released was in 2017. No, studio albums. Carpe Diem, 2012 was her last album. So she's probably going around doing that 80s, 90s, tours that are very popular because, now my age is almost like a target age for that nostalgia, that 80s, that 90s, I went with my ex-girlfriend to go see Salt and Pepper, New Kids on the Block, Naughty by Nature, Debbie Gibson, and Tiffany about 3 years ago. It might be 4, but it might be 3 or 4 years ago. And I'm a target audience. That age is a target audience. So I would doubt she's out there doing still singing, which is good for her. If you like videos like these and others on my channel, please don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button because I'm doing at least 15 videos each and every week. So, without any further ado, here is Karyn White and Superwoman.
And here we go.
At your table and make sure that your coffee has its sugar and cream. Your eggs are over easy, your toast unlikely. All that's missing is your morning kiss that used to greet me. Now you see the juicy sour, it used to be so sweet, and I can't help but to wonder if you're talking about me. We don't talk the way we used to talk. It's hurting so deep. I've got my pride, I will not cry, but it's making me weak. I'm not your superwoman. I'm not the kind of girl that you can let down and think that everything's okay. Boy, I am only human. This girl needs more than occasional hugs as a token of love from you to me. Ooh, baby. I found my way through the rush hour, trying to make it home just for you. I want to make sure that your dinner will be waiting for you. But when you get there, you just tell me you're not hungry at all. You said you'd rather read the paper and you don't want to talk. You like to think that I'm just crazy when I say that you've changed. I'm convinced I know the problem. You don't love me the same. You're just going through the motions and you're not being fair. I've got my pride, I will not cry. Still I can't help but care. I'm not your superwoman. Oh, no, no. I'm not the kind
says 88. On Wikipedia, it was saying it was Superwoman was 88, but it wasn't released until January 2nd of 1989. So somebody's messed up. I'm just the messenger. So, you know, and I mentioned on the last video how there were songs in the late 80s that, you know, it seems like they were interchangeable, where it never really mattered. The person who's singing had to have a good voice, but, you know, there were songs that were being passed around from person to person, saying like, hey, would you like this song? Hey, would you like this song? You know, and probably the reason why is because Babyface and L.A. Reid were just writing songs for people. They were just churning out the songs. So, you know, you listen to this and it does. I never, you know, because there wasn't a sound at that time. There now is, when I'm looking back, there is a definite L.A. and Babyface sound. You know, you don't get that many. Just like there's a Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis sound. There's a Pharrell sound. There's a Timbaland sound. So you think about all this and you go back and listen. It's like, yeah, there's a whole bunch of their songs that I just never even thought about. That, yeah, that sound. And if you go on YouTube, there's a thing where I believe it is L.A. versus somebody else. Was it Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, or was it somebody else? I can't remember, where it was during COVID and they're just playing each other's hits. Who was it? It wasn't Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. It was somebody else that was big back during the day. I can't think about it. You know what? It's going to drive me crazy.
12 seconds later.
It was Babyface versus Teddy Riley. That's who it was. Yep. Yeah, because there's a Teddy Riley sound. Teddy Riley was the New Jack sound. So they're both around the same time. You got the Babyface and the Teddy Riley. Babyface was killing the ladies. You know, he was doing the love song. And Teddy Riley had you out on the, well, both of them had you out on the dance floor. Babyface had you out on the dance floor getting a slow song, and Teddy Riley had you out on the dance floor getting a groove on. I'm not hating on them, and I never hated on them back in the day. I admired both of them back in the day, especially Teddy Riley, because, you know, when Teddy Riley did a Boy George album, I was like, you know what? And that was the late 80s as well. Hi-Hat. You found another guy, don't take your mind on a trip. Whether they like it or not, I own that album. You gotta check it out. So, let me get away from that because I could talk forever about that. If you are still here, I thank you very much for staying tuned. I really do appreciate it. First and foremost, I want you guys to like the videos as much as I like making them for you. After that, all you need to do to help me out with the channel is to like, subscribe, share,